Tippy time my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. Today's build is called the Boom Boom Room. This explosive build uses what was once considered the worst exotic in the game, but now has gone to A+, maybe even S tier. But it's only risen up the ranks thanks to a new fragment given to us at the launch of Lightfall. This hybrid build takes the best from both Void Hunters and Void Warlocks to create something really unique. We are turning ourselves into a walking nuke with both the stealth of the Hunters and the Warlock's powers of healing without losing any of that raw strength and defense of the Sentinel. If you enjoy the content, please hit that thumbs. With that being said, let's get into the video. We begin with the Severance enclosure. Its perk, Spheromatic Trigger. Powered melee final blows unleash a damaging explosion. Finishes and final blows against more powerful targets increase the radius and damage of this explosion. Now this explosion has a very interesting mechanic. Those targets the explosion doesn't kill get launched up vertically into the sky. This gives you time to find the next target you want to finish, and if there isn't any that are finishable, it gives you that reprieve to damage whilst they are immobile in the sky. Now controlled demolition makes for easy void explosions. Hitting a target with a void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target makes them explode. This also grants us and nearby allies health when volatiles explode near you. And being that we are actually becoming the bomb itself, this is a very easy heal. And all of these foes will be lit up with volatile thanks to the new fragment Echo of Cessation. Finisher final blows create a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile. Defeating volatile targets also creates a void breach. So as we use our finishers, everyone gets volatile applied to them, then the Severance enclosure triggers that ignition, putting every foe near you in the Boom Boom Room. Echo of Expulsion, our void ability final blows will cause targets to explode. This third explosion can trigger volatile again to set up another wave of damage. Now this finisher is the first part of this build, but the exotic also works with the melee. Now either melee works here with this build, but I've gone with the shield bash. Not only is it a more powerful melee option, it can grant us an overshield on kills. Now with this build we are in amongst the shit, and with a recent overshield buff, these tank a lot more now. The shield bash also suppresses targets, which not only buys you that time to drop those larger targets, but it will also stun overload champs. And this build gives you tons of melee energy, so with this ability it doesn't matter how many overloads there are, you'll be able to drop them all. Our offensive bulwark aspect, this primarily is used to give us 2 fragment slots required to make this work, but is by no means useless. Whilst we have an overshield, your grenades charge significantly faster, and our melee has increased range and damage. Also, if you have that overshield gained from your shield bash, you can use your uncharged melee to extend this. Now this build allows for every second kill to be a melee kill, so you can keep the overshield up for the majority of the time, allowing you to reap Bulwark's benefits for both your grenade and melee charge. Now to make our finishers go even further, we are going to slot in Echo of Obscurity. Our finisher final blows will grant us invisibility. This gives us the stealth required to go from foe to foe to foe, executing all with the safety from the shadows. I would also suggest 4 finishers as your favourites to spice up the slaughter. And lastly, Echo of Starvation. Now we're going to take that void breach that Echo of Cessation grants us from the volatile kills to grant us life. Picking up a void breach or orb of power will grant us Devour, allowing our health to fully restore on final blows, and will also give us grenade energy. We have this for 10 seconds, which is ample enough time to chain that to the next kill. Also heavy handed, this is going to grant us an orb of power for every powered melee final blow. Stacks on stacks, when we pick up an orb of power we get 2 armor charges for the price of 1. And the charged up mod will allow us to hold 4 armor charges. We're going to use all this armor charge to loop into our melee and finisher combos. 1-2 finisher will restore our melee abilities, and empowered finish, double stacked, will give us 2 armor charges when we have none. This way we have created an endless loop for easy melees and they don't even see you coming. Now all that I've mentioned till now are the nuts and bolts of this build in order to make this build work. I'll make sure to leave a dim in the description below, but for those who don't use them, I'll just rattle off the last mods required now. I'm running one Invigoration mod to reduce your melee cooldown on orb collection, and Orbs of Restoration put energy on pickup of orbs to your ability with the least amount of energy. As we are chucking out melees all day, Impact Induction will give us a grenade cooldown every time we damage with our melees. The Void Siphon mod will make us orbs of a Void Weapon multi-kills, which will be very easy when paired up with Volatile Flow in the artifact. Picking up one Orb of Power will grant our Void Weapons Volatile rounds for 13 seconds. Trust me, try the Wave Splitter. This meme exotic is now a dream exotic. With all the orbs we're currently creating, it goes from max charge and can suppress targets. I hope I've convinced you all to give the Severance enclosure a go. I find it amazing that with one fragment such a powerful build can just be pulled from the ethos. The Boom Boom Room is now one of my favourite builds and I'm sure you're going to love it too. Thumb it if you liked it. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And until next time, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.